Okay, we got this piece, sorry, Dave with Half Dozen Customs. We have this piece that I was working on earlier that I built the tucking fork for, and we started putting some tucks and starting to get a little curve into it. And it really started to flatten out my curve that I have here. And just, you can see that it's like starting to kink up in these areas. So I think with the tucking fork, I think we're on the right track with that. But I kind of hit a brick wall with this bend being in here. So I don't have a whole lot of experience, if any, with building compound curves. And I don't have a lot of experience with this tool. My wife just got it for me last Christmas, so I haven't even had it a year. I've done a couple of floor pans with it, and other than that, just kind of playing around to see what it does and what I could do with it. So I'm gonna run this piece through here, and we're just gonna kind of see what direction we go. Right now I have it set. I have it set low pressure, and I have it sitting at a low point, so it shouldn't be. I'm not looking to like super stretch this thing out yet. I just kind of want to see where we're going to go and what it's going to do. So it don't even look like it's hitting it, so we're going to go up a little. Okay, I see that we're making a little bit of marks in it, but don't look like we're making a dent. Go up on the, sorry, I'm gonna go up on the pressure a little bit. Okay, we're looking better. We're headed in the right direction. I'm happy with what's going on here. As you can see, we're starting to get a curve in my bend area here, and my bend area is back. It's no longer kinked up or starting to flatten out. We do have it's doing what I want it to do. So spinning around over here. Okay, now I know we have a lot farther to go, but let's just check and see if we're kind of heading in the right direction here. Put some tucks in it. We're gonna pinch the ends closed. Okay, we're starting to get more of a curve in it. I don't know if we're headed down a rabbit hole here, but alright, the camera died on me. You guys didn't miss a whole lot. I tucked both edges. I hadn't tucked the top yet. You guys just seen me tucking the one side. So I tucked the top and I tucked the bottom at the same time. I ran it through the English wheel, and then I hit the edges on my shrinker stretcher. I hit it on the shrink end of the shrinker stretcher. So, and you can see we're getting closer. I still need this to curve down some more, but we're getting close. But I'm thinking, you know, I can fit my finger up in here, so I'm thinking that I need to do some shrinking, some tuck shrinking around this front edge here, to kind of bring everything in. It needs to tighten up here. So, I mean, we're really close. So I think I'm gonna do a little tucking up here, and we'll see where that takes us. So. I really need to get, I need to get the proper hammer for these. Need a tucking hammer. They're nylon. You know, they're not horribly priced. You know, I think Jegs carries them, Speedway carries them. I've looked on the Amazon. I don't know that Amazon carries them. It's kind of a specialty item. And I want to say that they're right around like 125 bucks for one. And that would really do a lot better here than this. Actually, I think I'm getting into a tight corner. I need to switch into maybe some tighter hammers here. But there's one that I really want to get, and it's pricey, but I think it's worth it. It comes from a shop called Make It Custom. He's out of Canada. He actually has a YouTube channel called Make It Custom. His name's Carl. Awesome builder, and he makes his own hammers, and he has one called the Mother Tucker hammer. And I would really like to get that one, and it's actually it's all handcrafted with changeable tips on it. So you're not just the ones from like Jegs and Speedway, like it's one hammer and that's all you get. Where Carl Fisher's, you can change the tips out and change it to different hammers. So. And what's nice with you can kind of see at the tip there, like I'm really getting some good smashes, and I'm thinning out the metal because I'm using a metal hammer. With the nylon hammer, you don't get that. So okay, so we tucked that up. Let's go take it back to the truck and see if it did what I was thinking that it was going to do, which was gonna, remember, I could slide my finger in under here. So look at how much that tightened that up. I could almost push that down and get a weld out of it. So we're getting closer. I need to hit that weld down. He's in my way. We are super, super close. When I look up on the inside, under where my cut is, I mean, there's, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but there's no gap. So I think if I was to mark this, and cut it, that we would be right where I need to be. So so we're close. The one thing that I gotta see if I can try and work it out. It's very slight, but from running it through the English wheel here, there is a little bit of a hump. And not a little bit, it's quite a bit. It's more than I would like to have. So gotta see if we can maybe knock that hump down a little bit. You can kind of see where all the marks are, and it's got a dish to it. So I mean, if you're looking across here, you know, it's not too bad. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the T-dolly out. We're gonna get the T-dolly, and I'm just gonna work this area a little bit here by hand, and we're gonna see if we can knock that down some. Leave him out. He may come in handy again. Feels better, looks better. I was able to, you know, running it through the English wheel, I'm getting the hammer marks out that I just put in there. So I'll pick over here and take a look. See a little bit of a high spot right in here where it kind of seems like it, you know, it's supposed to be nice and flat. So I'm gonna see if I can work that area a little bit by hand here. This is where having a curved T-dolly comes in handy, and I don't have one. Okay, I think that's it. I think I'm gonna throw some clamps around here to clamp it down where I exactly want it, and I'm gonna mark it from the back side, and we're gonna cut it out, and we're gonna see how she looks. You know, this patch it's you know, a lot smaller than the panel that I made, and I you know, I did that for a reason, because I didn't know You know, I didn't know which way the metal was going to go because I knew that we were going to do a lot of shrinking in that. I didn't want to start with the piece that was really close to what we were doing, and then end up with a piece that didn't fit. So I made a larger panel than what we actually needed. To see which direction we were going to go. So, you know, once I get this piece all cut out and get it to fit, you know, I think we're going to be okay. Come on, stupid marker. Figures my marker got dusty or dirty or something and it's not marking. Stupid markers. Okay, so there we go. We got our piece marked out. No turning back now. This is where it'd be nice to have a Beverly shear. What a beautiful thing, huh? What a beautiful thing. Pretty cool. Looks like I maybe need to put a little bit of a curve back in this area. Looks like it's got a flat spot, so I'm just gonna I think that came out pretty darn awesome. Took a little bit of work. You know, maybe with somebody, you know, who had a little more expertise, you know, may have got done a little faster, maybe, you know, a little bit different technique, but I think I'm happy with that. I think I did pretty good. I think I nailed all the curves that we needed to do. I still think I need to curve this a little bit more, and English wheel here. But we are right there. I think we're just down to fine tuning now. I think we just if I do a little grinding to make this thing fit the hole, and then I can, like, you know, get a tack here in the center, and then I can push this corner down, tack it, push this corner down, tack it, you know, get a tack. Like, these two corners line up darn near perfect. And then we can use a vice grip to clamp along there. I think I'm good. I'm happy with that. Super happy with that. That came out awesome. So I don't know how much time I have into it. A couple hours maybe. You know, 3 hours with making that that tool, the tucking fork. I think it's close enough to start tacking in place here, so yeah, so unfortunately my GoPro died, and I have two batteries. I put the one in the charger and didn't realize that the charger was unplugged. I don't keep it plugged in when I'm not in the shop, and I had unplugged the charger when I left earlier for lunch. So when I put the battery in there to charge, it never charged, and my battery died. And so now we're without the GoPro. So I got you on the other camera. I know the sound quality on this one is horrible, but we're just gonna get this piece tacked in, and I'm gonna call it a night. We'll come back out here with the GoPro tomorrow. We'll get some better footage of it actually getting welded in. Guys, like sitting on top of the weld so that you guys can see what I'm doing. and it pushed the piece of metal in lower than what I wanted before it made its tack. So this time, let's concentrate our art on the Fender.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me, cause she got a bad little waist. And we tearing down this place, off the liquor that we chase. Got some egos to the face, baby I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on a tight frame. All game, no shame, baby can't get a play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine. Got a fine little body and her mind's kinda naughty. They say that once you taste it, you cannot replace it. She could get you high, all the dopamine inside triggers fast once she's naked. Her body's a creation. They say the devil made her for his entertainment, but even he couldn't learn how to contain it. Her high heels make a damn good statement. There is no replacement, a body by Satan. She got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place. Off the liquor that we chase, got some egos to the face. Baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on a tight frame. All game, no shame, baby can't get a play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine.
Got her all welded up. Let's do some grinding.
Losing time is fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headache stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need. What you need. We're broken, it's tragic. We're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic. Believe you could have it. And I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.
So last night we finished welding up this patch that was up here. It still needs a little hammering and dollying. I did do a little bit on it last night, which helped quite a bit, but we need to get it on the table and do some hammering from the inside. But before I get it on the table, I want to replace this patch back here. So we're going to be cutting it close to the holes here, but I want to try and save them. But let's get this cut out and start getting a new piece made. So you guys keep seeing me come back with these little itty bitty cutoff wheels that I'm not really getting anywhere with. I'm just trying to use them up. My weld buster that I have that I use to grind down my welds, if you were to actually buy a thick weld buster like that, they're about 40 bucks or 45 bucks for one. But these cutoff wheels, they're only, you know, I get them on Amazon, they're like $1 a piece. So I just stick 3 of them together and those are my weld busters. And then when I get down to so small, I take them off and I replace them, and it leaves me with a whole bunch of these little guys that there's only a 1/4 inch left. And I'm just trying to use them up. I'm just trying to burn through them, and you know, I use every bit of my product that I can. So. Okay, camera died right as I was finishing cutting out that piece. So, you know, this is a piece on the back of that fender that we cut out. You can see somebody's already patched it. You can see their weld. And yeah, their patch failed, and it was bad, you know, even around their patch. So we cut out a little bigger than their old patch, and that was it. So we'll make a new piece for that real quick. And this is a tool I was talking about, my weld buster. I use it to grind down my welds. And this is just 3 cutoff wheels stuck together. And when they get down to this size, you know, I take them off and I replace them, and I put 3 new ones on. And then I hold on to these little guys. And yeah, you know, it takes a few minutes to, you know, go through and change these out every minute or two, but you know, every little bit of product used is a penny saved. So okay, so I'm gonna leave enough left over here so that we can put this in the stretcher, because this piece, I mean, as you can see, it's quite bent out of shape, but we need to have a slight curve put in it. So we'll cut this out, of course, and then this is where I'm going to put my bend in, and hopefully, you know, this is just a piece of scrap metal left over from making the top rounded piece that we just made for the top of the fender. So hopefully if I follow my marks and put my bend in, we'll be close. Okay. So we'll just go check this on the truck real quick. Hopefully I got that in the right spot, but I left enough of a lip so that we can put it in the shrinker. So we can put the slight curve in it. Oh, I had you guys sitting on a chair. Beautiful thing, just a little trimming along the top. See, I don't know if you guys can see, but I left my magic marker line there. I probably should have got rid of it. I took a little off, still needs a little bit more, but enough that I think we can do it with the grinder. Let's put it in the shrinker and just put a slight curve in it. I don't need much. I could probably get away with not putting anything in it, but I know it looks like I was cranking on this thing, but I explained in another video that the top tooth is broken. So you can see we put just a slight curve in it. Might be a little much, but we'll check it. I actually got a little bit more here where the metal was shorter. It's always a good idea to make sure that the metal that you're shrinking is the same length all the way across. I did not here in this case. It was just a piece of scrap metal I picked up, so. I think it needs a little bit more, maybe on this side over here. You guys are going for rides tonight. Let's try that. Little more shrinking. I'll be right back. Okay, we got that tacked in. A little bit of a wide gap down here on this corner, but not wide enough that I'm worried about welding it up. So we'll get her welded up. She'll look pretty. She'll be good and strong in that area. So, but I gotta go feed my dogs, so I'll be back. Okay, back after feeding the dogs. Let's get this guy welded up. Alright, well, we got that welded in and we got it grinded down. I think I'm ready to pull this off and take it over to the table and continue working on it at the table. A little bit of a low spot in this corner. It dropped when I was welding it. I probably should have went and hammered and dollied it before I finished, but I didn't. Really, I'm not really too worried about it. For one, I'll hammer and dolly a little bit while it's on the table, and I should be able to flatten that out a little bit, hit it with the grinder again, and we should be okay. But it gets a step that mounts right here. This is why this all rotted out, because there's two pieces that bolt together. So it gets a step that mounts here. Coat of Marglass and skim coat of filler, and we're good to go. It's within any decent specs, so I'm okay with what we're looking at here. Way better than the piece that I cut out, wherever that went. So, but yeah, let's get this pulled off and let's get it over to the table and let's address the situation over there. I do have a spot that's up on the top that I gotta cut out and weld in once it's over on the table. But the main part that we're bringing it over to the table is to start hammering and dollying and working out all the dings and dents that are in it. So yeah, let's get over to the table. Okay, so I got it over on the table. It's pretty ugly in here. I haven't addressed anything on the inside yet, so we got some grinding and some cleaning to do in the areas where I need to hammer and dolly so I can see what I'm doing. But before I do that, I'm going to finish welding up this little bit of the lip in here, and then we'll get that cut clean. We'll do it on both patches that I just put in. And then we'll grind up the areas that need to be hammered and dollied and get those cleaned up, and then we'll start working those areas. So let's get to it.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away.
Okay, I really had to wail on this area here. This is the back side of the fender, and it was really, I was really hammered there. Obviously there was some kind of accident there. You know, they beat it out somewhat. There's a bunch of welds in there. And last time they did it, it must have been a repair after the truck was actually painted, because they didn't do the inside where they put the welds. They burned the paint on the inside and they didn't repair it. The welds weren't ground down on the inside. They didn't repair it. You could see it was rusting out around the welds, and whoever put all the POR 15 all over it this last time, they actually POR 15 the inside of that because it was rusting. So this must have been a repair that was done after the first time that it was painted. So, but I really hammered on it. I put some strength into it, trying to hammer it. And when I hold my straight edge up now, we're probably within a 16th, so I'm okay with that. It was closer to an 1/8 before I hammered on it. So now I'm gonna work the round part a little bit. That's gonna be a little trickier because technically I should be using like a tucking hammer, a nylon tucking hammer, something that has the curve that I'm looking for. Unfortunately, the only thing that I have that's curved is a ball peen hammer, and that's just going to put dents the opposite way. So, if you go back in the videos and actually look at this, like when we stripped it down, it was pretty rough and in pretty bad shape. Now it is not perfect by any means, but like I said, this was in probably an 1/8 of an inch. We're within a 16th now when I hold the straight edge up to it. So we are really close. All the way around. So I'm good with putting a coat on that, a coat of filler. So we're good. That is way better from an 1/8 to an 1/8 just on this flat face. We were kind of caved in like an 1/8, and I got that within the 16th now. And then this whole corner edge here. So there was a bunch of welds in here, and you could see that they went through to the back. And as I started grinding, you could see like the weld got hot, blew, and then fell off. Like I want to say that they welded something to it to pull the dent out. So I think that's what all those welds were, was them actually just trying to pull this dent out. So I was able to grind down all those welds and get rid of them. And now we're just left with a bunch of like, just little dents, little like BB size, pea size, little dimples and dents. Like I said, I wish I could work it out, a little bit more. See, if I had somebody else in here to help me hold this, that would be awesome. But I do not. It's ringing in my ear. Ow, that hurt. Having this thing like right up against my ear, man, it's just ringing like a bell. So what I tried to do is I used this on the inside of this corner, and I smacked it with a hammer. Hopefully, I mean, we were super close with it anyway, so. It's good enough for the Joes I know. Bigger table, I tell you. We're back out here the next morning working on this fender. Last night we were doing a little hammering and dollying around the outside radius of this fender where it must have previously been in an accident or got banged up, and somebody had previously fixed it and they just kind of banged it out the best that they could, or banged it out good enough, and then they filled it with a lot of Bondo. So we're just kind of reworking it and just kind of bringing it up to that next level. I'm not trying to make it absolutely perfect, but I'm trying to make it better than what it was. The amount of Bondo that they had on there before was just uncalled for, as you guys seen in previous videos. So I'm just trying to take it up to that, to that next level. So I'm going to show you real quick with the straight edge what we're talking about. So maybe I just don't have enough light for you guys to see through there. Let me put the light behind it. Excuse me for a second. Okay. So you guys can see, you can see that light through there. There's some, especially like right by where my thumb is at. There's a good size dent in there. So, and you can actually see, if it wasn't for the light now, light helps you, light doesn't help you. You can actually still see, you see where all the Bondo is still? So that's where you're seeing the light through. And those are, they're good size, they're good size dents. I don't know how well that video just, shows or explains how big those dents are, but they're bigger than I would like. And I can get that a little bit better, which is basically all I'm asking for. So before I turn the camera on, I just kind of cleaned the metal up in here. And you guys can see from the inside here, you know, how beat up that actually is. You know, the outside, you know, I got the outside pretty cleaned up using that burnishing tool. Other than the hard hit areas where I couldn't dig the Bondo out of there. But showing you on the inside, you can really see really well, you know, how much damage is actually in there. So we're just gonna hammer it and work it out a little bit, and then I think we're gonna, after we get that hammered out, you know, it's gonna be time to you know, kind of go around all the edges, get them all cleaned up, and get it ready to be sandblasted. So I'm using the table as a dolly, so you know, it would have been nice to have, you know, a nice rounded nylon hammer to get in there and kind of hammer that roll a little bit. Unfortunately, I just don't have one yet. I will get one day. So some of these little holes, these little spots that are in here, that's actually, it's caused by a pick hammer. Something that's pointy on this end. Obviously they had a good pick hammer. This is just a cheap one from Harbor Freight. And you know, dude, these hammers from Harbor Freight, for the price of them, they work great. But as far as for being like a pick hammer, they don't work very well for very long, because this metal's a softer metal, and you use this, you know, a half dozen times, and it flattens out the end. So I don't know if you can see how flat, and it's not much of a pick hammer anymore. And they're not much of a pick hammer when you get them, but there's a lot more of a tip on there than, you know, when it's brand new, than there is right now. And you know, they had some high spots in here, and they used their pick hammer to knock those high spots down. You know, I've been finding them all over the truck, and those pick hammers, they create sharp indent impressions, sharp little dents that are damn near impossible to get out, especially when you can't get to the backside like there was on the cab and everything. So you know, no matter what I do, I'm never going to get that Bondo out of those little pick spots. That'll have to be sandblasted out, and those pick spots will just get filled again with Bondo, you know, next time when we come around, or, you know, come around to do body work again the next time. So but some of these other ones I should be able to get worked out. So let's see. You know, I couldn't get in there before with the burnishing tool. I couldn't get in there with the grinder. And it's kind of hard, you know, sometimes it's kind of hard to push that dent out. I can feel it still on the back side because the Bondo's in there, and I'm just hammering with the dolly, and the Bondo's not allowing it to really move. But I should have knocked it out enough that I can maybe get that Bondo out of there now. So see, I got most of it out of there now, and I couldn't get it before. I tried with this thing before, it wouldn't get it out. So you can even see that it took, you know, some more came out of those pick areas even. You know, I'm not going to be able to get it all out, but now that I was able to get that Bondo out of there, I can go back with my hammer and dolly, and we can try and hammer that out a little better. So when I'm sticking this dolly in here, I'm kind of holding it on an angle like this in there. I can't hold it like that because it doesn't fit the exact shape. But if I hold it in there on an angle, I can kind of, you know, I can still kind of hammer on the shape around this rounded part. So, and I'm not hitting it hard. I'm not trying to put dents in it. I'm just trying to kind of plenish it up. So. Now I could probably stick this in the plenishing hammer and at a very light pressure. I could probably plenish this out pretty nicely, but it can go south real fast if you don't know what you're doing or you have your pressure up too high. You know, it can go south really fast. And then once you go beyond that point of just plenishing and you start to stretch it, it's really hard to go back the other way. So to me, you know, sometimes it's just not even worth it. Like, you know, when I'm making a new panel, that's fine, but when I'm trying to, you know, repair an old fender and you go too far, you know, or you're trying to repair an old piece and you go too far, you're kind of screwed at that point. It's very hard to go back. You know, if it's a new piece of metal and you screw it up, you know, just chuck it in the scrap bin and grab a new piece of metal and start over. Can't exactly do that with this. So when it comes to stuff like this, I just kind of, you know, I try and do it a little bit better than it was, and just call it good at that point. So. You know, I promise you that anything that's better than what was there before, is, you know, worth doing. So, you know, and I think, you know, I think everything that I've done to this fender so far, you know, it's 10 times better, and I'm okay with it. I mean, if we still got a little bit of bumpy and a little bit of damaged area in here, you know, I'm okay with it, because I guarantee you we took 50% of the needed body work away from it for the little bit of time that I spent on it. So. Okay, so I'm good with that. I'm just gonna call that done with that. I do have a little sandblasting to do where they use the pick hammer on it, and I'm not gonna be able to get every little piece out because they pick hammered it. They're just too sharp of an impression in the metal. But compared to what this fender looked like previously, you know, I think we're good. Like I said before, like, you know, they had a lot of Bondo on there, so I do feel there's a high spot right here now that I run my hand down this. So I'm gonna hammer out that high spot real quick. It feels like a crease, so let's flip this around because I'm right-handed. So I don't know if you guys can see it in the camera, but right here there's a crease. So I'm gonna work that crease out. If you remember when I stripped this whole area here had like an inch of Bondo. And you know, I really don't see any reason for all that, but let's see if I take this crease out, if it doesn't bring this out a little bit because I think it is in just a hair. Not bad, but that crease could be what holds this, you know, this little indent in here out. So, or it's holding it in. What it looks like to me, what happened is that the metal got stretched here and it pushed it up into a buckle right here. So if we can hammer that buckle down, it'll kind of push the metal back. Matter of fact, let me get my slapper. And we'll do a little slapping. Let me see if I can maybe push some of that metal back the other direction. A lot better. You hear the change in the metal there as I was hammering that out. But it got a lot more like doinky, a lot more tin canny. Because I'm hammering all that strength out of there. Bit right at the edge. Okay. Now you can see all the marks that the hammer made on the high spot. Maybe you can see it. There, you can see them there. So that's where the crease was, that's where the high spot was. So, much better. I still feel it just a little bit. But I don't think it's too bad. A little bit of a tin can in there. So what are we going to do to try and get rid of that? I think we're going to have to do a little heat treatment on it. A little heating, a little cooling. Let's maybe see if we can get that metal to tighten up a little bit in there. Alright, let me go get some cold water and a rag and do a little heat shrinking in there. Okay, got the torch. With doing heat shrinking, it would be really nice to have an actual torch with a pencil tip on it, and you can fine point it and just, you know, hit precisely where you need. Unfortunately, I don't have one. This is all I have. Or I have my bigger torch, which is just a bigger flame than this. But we know that right in here we have a tin can area. So I'm just going to heat up in the center here, and then we're going to cool it off, and it should shrink that metal up, and we should be able to get rid of the tin can. So We still got a little bit of a tin can, but I really got to push on it now to get it to do it. So we definitely strengthened it up a lot. Okay, it's pretty much all gone. Got a little bit left here at the bottom. Okay, we got rid of the tin can. It's not perfectly straight at all. I don't mean it like at all, but it's consistent. When I use the level going down, it is consistent. It's not all wavy or anything like that. It's got a consistent flow all the way down, and the tin can is gone. So I'm okay with that. The tin can is the main thing that I wanted to get rid of, and I did. And you can see here with the marks that I put in it, you know, our crease was here, and we had a tin can here. I did the center first, then I did the outside ones, then I came back in and I did the center one again, and the tin can is gone. Now, don't, you know, by all means, you know, you don't have to follow what I did. I don't know if I'm doing that right or not. I am not great when it comes to heat shrinking. It is, it's kind of a lost art nowadays that I'm kind of trying to learn on my own. I didn't have anybody show me how to do it. You know, when you have a small spot like this, you know, it's really easy to you heat up the center, you smack it with a hammer, that creates the center to dimple down, and then you follow around the outside of that with a hammer and dolly, and you can get it pretty straight. But when you have a large area, it's much trickier to do a large area. So I got rid of the tin can effect, which is what I was after. Did the panel suck back straight? No. Did I hope it was going to? Yeah. It was a shot in the dark. I'm not any worse off than I was before I started. I'm actually better because the tin can is gone. So I'm okay with that. We don't have to worry about, you know, putting a little filler on it and then all of a sudden it tin cans the other direction and you know, cracks your filler or anything like that. So I'm okay with that. When I run my hand over it, you know, it feels nice and straight, feels straighter than it was before I started with, you know, hammering out that crease and whatnot. So, you know, I think we're good. I still got some sandblasting to do in this area, which may change. You know, sandblasting's bad for metal. That's why, me personally, you'll never see me sandblast a whole car. I will sit there and take the time to sand it, grind it, whatever, and get it off. And I only use the sandblaster on rust or on hard to get areas where I can't get a grinder or a sander or anything in there. That's the only time that you'll see me using sandblasters. I will never just go and sandblast a whole car. It is horrible for it. So there's all this rust over here on the corner that needs to be sandblasted. That's all rust. That's not me heating, that's rust and rot. So that's got to be sandblasted. So that could change everything that's going on here right now. So before I take it any farther, I'm gonna get all that sandblasted, because if the sandblasting creates any warpage in there, which there's a good chance that it will, I don't want it to create warpage in a panel that I just spent, you know, an hour trying to straighten out. So I'm gonna leave that right there until after we're sandblasted, and then we'll come back and see if maybe I can't work this outer edge here with some hammering and dollying, and see if we can't bring this panel to surface up a little bit more. So I don't think that it needs to be hammered out. I think that there's an outer ring around it that needs to be hammered in, which should bring our center back out. So at least that's my thoughts behind it and the game plan that I'm gonna run with for now. And you know, and we'll see where it brings us. I may do a little bit more heat shrinking, some more hammering and dollying, and see if we can't bring this panel out a little bit more to where it's a little straighter. In the center here, I mean, it's not bad. It's maybe, you know, 2/16 of, you know, of a little bit of a dipper in there. So it's not horrible by any means. But I think I can make it better. So, you know, so we'll do a little bit more work on it after sandblasting. So I think that's the next step, is I gotta clean up all these edges, because for some odd reason they're all Bondo. The other one was as well. So we'll get all that cleaned up, and then we'll take it outside. Probably tomorrow will be a sandblasting day. Yeah, so we'll go with that. We'll get this stripped down a little bit farther, and then we'll get it sandblasted up probably tomorrow, and then we'll come back and we'll try and see if we can fine tune this area just a little bit more. So I heated up, again, I heated up this center part, and I heated up down here in this lower area. It seemed like just right here in this small area, we had a little bit of a tin can that I found after I shut off the camera. I was just poking around at it and found a little tin can area there. So I heated that up. I heated this up. While this was hot, I hammered and dollied it a little bit. And I think I brought more strength into the panel, which is good. But I still had that, when I was putting this up against it, there was still a good gully in there. It was probably, you know, it was bigger than a 16th. It was probably between 2 and 3/16. But check it out now. That thing is perfectly straight all the way up and down. I mean, it's perfect. The entire thing is absolutely perfect. And so how I did it was, after I heated up these couple more spots that I pointed out, and I hammered and dollied it, I ended up flipping this thing upside down on the table so that this was flat on the table, and I hammered the bejesus out of it on the table from the inside, and then I took it over to the English wheel, and I very lightly, I didn't put no pressure on it. I mean, barely any pressure. I used my flattest die that I have, and I put barely any pressure on it, just enough to where it was touching the metal, and I ran it through there. Once I ran it through there, it started to not even catch the wheel anymore to roll it. So I tightened it up just a little bit more to where it was just barely touching the metal, and I ran it through again, and it is perfectly straight. It is nice and strong. I'm gonna do a little bit more work down here on the bottom. It was kind of dented up down here where we weren't even touching. We weren't even worried about that. We were working this area up here. But there's some damage area down here. I'm gonna run it through the English wheel now and just pop it all out. God, I love that English wheel. You know, it's a newer tool to this shop, and I'm not great at using it. There's been a couple times where I've attempted to use it and it stretched out the metal worse than what I wanted, and it's just a learning experience. I'm learning how to do it. But that worked out perfectly. I couldn't be happier with that. I mean, there is not a single gap when I run that thing down this metal now. It is perfectly straight. That is awesome. I love it. Lunchtime. I'm out.